do I always feel like I'm to the side?
It's almost go time. Good morning. Today is July 8th, 2021. You are in the Sports Brothers podcast. What's going on, Zach?
Morning, Mr. 411. You all right? Look, I didn't feel the love. I didn't feel the energy then. It just felt like good morning. Come on, this is a beautiful day. We get up and talk about sports. Your boy Chris Paul won game one. You should be super excited. And we are one day closer to the weekend where we get to go relax and hang out and just love and enjoy life. So I'm doing great.
Excellent. And again, he's Zach, and I'm Mr. 411. We are the Sports Brothers.
Yes, we are.
Today's topic is the NBA Finals, and we're going to recap Game 1, and then we're going to preview Game 2. And just to let you all know, we will be on the air tonight following Game 2 of the NBA Finals. So tune in around 11:30, and you should find us out there in the universe. All right, Zach. Let's go ahead.
Hold on, Mr. 411. You getting so business-like and you doing 2-play instead of 4-play. Tell me something good. What's going on? It's so business-like today, and we're going to talk about the Bucks, and we're going to give you this and get. What's going on, man? I don't get to see you too often anymore. Tell me a little something good, please, sir. We got plenty of time to talk about the Bucks and these Suns. It's going 6 or 7.
I'm enjoying the NBA Finals.
You're trying to kill stuff. Have you eaten at any interesting places there in Macon? Anything new? Anything happening? If I was to show up there in Macon right now today, where would you recommend I go eat at? And Popeye's we got comments coming in already from Cal. Morning, Cal.
Popeye's chicken.
Popeye's chicken. Isn't there another place that you told me about that I should go for brunch? Let the people know.
Cracker Barrel.
I don't think that's the place you told me about, but okay. Cracker Barrel. I see we still waking up. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, Corey is in the building.
But I think you said Vibes or something.
That's a wonderful place to eat at. Vibes. It's a new restaurant that's opened up, brunch spot downtown Macon, Georgia. And man, let me tell you, I ordered chicken and waffles, and I know we had the podcast yesterday
but yes.
that dealt with a lot of racial lines. But let me tell you something, man. That chicken and waffles is to die for, man. They have a lot of other good items there. Like I know for you, Zach, swordfish. I know that would pique your interest.
Yes, it would. I would love to have some swordfish.
Yeah, and I believe that the owner, and we'll eventually find this out, but we'll definitely confirm this. But I believe the owner is Bud Dupree. He played at the local area high school here in Wilkinson County. He plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We won't hold that against him, and we won't hold that against him either.
And I think he's currently on the Tennessee Titans roster.
Well, that is good.
And I believe he was an SEC linebacker at Kentucky, University of Kentucky. Check out Vibes.
I believe all of that is true. I will definitely go check out Vibes if I am there and eat some of the swordfish. Maybe we can have the Sports Brothers podcast there while we're eating brunch. So thank you.
Yep. One of these days, man.
Absolutely.
All right, yep. Well, Corey wants to know about Game 1. What are your thoughts on Game 1, Zach? Bucks, Suns. I know you're not necessarily the greatest fan of Coach Bud, but do tell. What were your thoughts on Game 1?
I guess for me it just came down to free throws, and the Suns were 25 for 26 on the free throw line. Now, not free throws in the sense that the Bucks were just fouling the Suns the whole time, because it was only 18 to 14 fouls. But that 25 to 26 was a big deal. And more importantly, when the Suns were getting fouled, they were getting fouled in the act of shooting. Here we go with Coach Budenholzer. I believe I said that correctly. If not, hopefully it won't matter too long, because he'll be relieved of his duties as Bucks coach. But I didn't understand how they kept getting Brook Lopez in the pick and roll, and Brook Lopez is guarding either Chris Paul or Devin Booker. Like, you have to be kidding me. And then later on, is it Pat Connaughey? Is that how you say his name? If not, I do apologize if I'm saying your name incorrect. But Pat Connaughey is out there. I guess maybe he's a threat because he can shoot the ball like a Steve Kerr or John Paxson was back in the day. But I didn't understand that they were headhunting him. And it's like, do something to change the defense. And I get switching. Switching is cool because it stops a little extra energy that someone has to use, and you're maybe closing some of the airspace. But sometimes you just got to get over a damn pick. And this is your guy. I'm going to guard this guy. He's not getting away from me. And maybe you need to do that with Drew Holiday, because they can't keep letting Brook Lopez be. I'm sorry, that Chris Paul and Devin Booker get the size of Brook Lopez. They are going to kill, like, Booker probably most definitely, but Chris Paul, it's no way Chris Paul is not going to take advantage of that matchup. And he looks for it. He's hunting for it. He gets to kind of step back and take his little mid-range shot over Brook Lopez. He loves that. Have to get better there. And I'll just reiterate what I've said probably since they played the Nets. They're just a dumb team. They have or if not dumb, they are a low basketball IQ team. And if you people don't get that, I will give you specific examples from tonight's game. Maybe they'll play better. But if you ever watch the Warriors play in the Steph Curry heyday, especially when they got Durant, the Warriors seem to play basketball with a high IQ as far as moving it, the type of shots they would take, things of that nature. It's not when you take a whole bunch of threes, but you have to take this stuff in the right situation and then even understand that if things are not going well, if you have a mismatch, kind of like what Chris Paul and Booker are doing with Brook Lopez or Pat Connaughey, that take advantage of the mismatch. It doesn't matter if that individual isn't necessarily your best offensive player, but if they can get a bucket against someone that is undersized or isn't fast enough to stay in front of them or what have you, do things of that nature. And it does not seem like we will see today, but it was. I don't understand how the Bucks play, and they're a professional team. You would think that they would play better, and they're a veteran team that everybody tells me has all of this experience. But it sure looks like the Suns players are more veteran than the Bucks players.
Yeah, I think that some of that is a testament to the strategy that the Suns are using. And I mean, the Suns are basically, as you stated earlier, they're headhunting. But I mean, the only way that you're going to fix that issue with Brook Lopez being caught in these pick and rolls is to take Brook Lopez out the game. If you go back to the Clippers series with the Clippers and Jazz, where Ty Lue, he basically eliminated the center, position sometimes, like where he, where you got to put these guys in these mismatches. So if you look at it, if the Bucks have to take Lopez out the game in order to not have him in drop coverage and having to make decisions, because right now you're looking at in game one, Chris Paul and Devin Booker, they combined for 59 points. And that's going to continue as long as the big man is in the mix with the pick and roll. So if you want to go Giannis at center, I think with his mobility, length, a little more agility. I think that would help, but it's a catch-22 because on the other end, the Suns are small, and to me, the Bucks will probably need to take more time as far as slowing the game down and just penetrate the defense by dumping the ball into the paint. Um, More so
What's
less than
that?
forcing the ball into the paint.
What's dump the ball into the paint? Because I don't think the Bucks understand that philosophy.
Well, that means you have a wing player, i.e., a guard or a forward, and they're hovering around the 3-point line, above the free throw line area, and you angle the ball. But first, you drop your big man down there on the block, which is the lower box underneath the basket, and then you dump the ball into him, and that will force Phoenix on the defensive end to either foul or they have to bring it down in, and that gives up a shot. So what I've seen is too much of the Bucks trying to force their way in versus just use your size and just slowly get their front line and get Phoenix front line in foul trouble, and then you're going to have them in worse mismatches later on in the game. But that's what I see about that. But we'll have to see what Bud does. Does he play Lopez less? Does he maybe insert Portis and let him play center a lot more? We'll have to see.
I'll go back to, you don't have to take Lopez out if you stop switching. Just fight over screen. It ain't that hard to fight over screen. And Chris Paul is a good shooter.
What the problem
but damn, if you fight over the screen, he ain't that damn good of a shooter. What's the problem with that?
Well, the problem with that, Zach, will be if you get caught on that pick and now you're trailing Chris Paul, and so now you're at the mercy of him getting deeper into the paint, and now he can either floater or mid-range jumper. So it's a catch-22. Like that's the issue with that. It's catch-22.
People fight through.
Like
people fight through picks.
Yeah, you can fight through them all you want, but pick and roll is a staple of the professional game. The NBA, I mean, it goes back almost 60 years with that. Like pick and roll is the foundation of the NBA, and it's there to create those mismatches, if you will, because of the level of play that's out there. It's tough. You can fight it. You can go over it or you can go under it, but either way, you can't. You're gonna have to be at the mercy of that point guard or that other wing player.
You don't have. You can make him get rid of it out of his hands. Like you can make him get rid of the ball, which doesn't seem like a bad idea. We just don't. We won't let Devin Booker or Chris Paul score.
That's a possibility, but you're not gonna stop them both. Again, they combined for 59 in game one. So what do you do other than maybe you trap them at half court? But then now you're opening up the floor for a quick pass in the middle of the lane, and now you're at the mercy again, because remember Phoenix has 3-point shooters in the corners as well. So now if you open up the middle,
I ain't worried about them.
Now you opening up the wide open threes in the corner.
I'm not worried about them.
You got to pick your poison. But no matter what you do, you got to pick your poison.
And tell me this: how is it that people tend to be able to guard LeBron James? Because LeBron is better than Devin Booker and Chris Paul, and he gets screens, and somehow they still figure out a way to guard him, and they just ain't in the trail position all the time. If you can guard LeBron James, you can guard Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Like I'm not making Devin Booker out to be like, I know people want to say, oh, he's the new, and stop that. Devin Booker is Devin Booker. He ain't Kobe Bryant. He ain't close to Kobe Bryant. And Chris Paul, for whatever he is, Chris Paul is Chris Paul. Like he ain't bad, but he ain't been some super duper scorer his whole damn career. He can be stopped, and he's been stopped plenty of times. So it's fight through the screen. Worst thing that happens is he scored, what did you say, 59 points? So they just score 59 points again. But at least it'll look better.
Well, I understand your plight, man, but that's a tough one, because again, when you set a screen, you either gotta trail it or you gotta go under it. If you run through it, that's a foul on you. So unless that's what you want them to do.
You can get around screens. You can get around them unless unless the Suns are setting moving, unless the Suns are setting moving screens. You can get around them. You can like in basketball at one point in time, you didn't switch defense as much. People fought through and fought around screens.
Yep, and got open. It's a catch-22. It's how you want to. It's how you want to force their hand.
They scored 59 the first game, right? Like they scored 59 the first game.
Yep.
So I'd say probably
they combined for 59. You're right.
Yes. So we don't really need to wait till game 5 or game 6 to realize. I mean, isn't that the beauty of playing a series versus being in NFL and you have to play a playoff game, and from play to play, series to series, quarter to quarter, you need to make adjustments. You get the whole series to make adjustments in basketball. And how about we make them a little sooner than waiting until game 7?
Right. And we're going to see what adjustments they make tonight, as soon as tonight. And we'll see how they handle it.
Yes, we will.
Corey, man. Corey's on fire.
I know he's on fire. That's what I was saying. Calvin is giving us a whole bunch.
Well, we definitely appreciate Corey tuning in.
But thank you for agreeing with me, Cal, that we got to get the ball out of their hands.
I think that's everybody's act. Like that. I mean, duh. You gotta try to get the ball out their hands. But the thing is, and I like what you mentioned earlier about LeBron. But there is a difference. Like the Booker and Chris Paul, they have a different type of game. They may not be as great as LeBron or Kobe or Michael Jordan, but they have a mid-range type game, and they don't necessarily have to drive all the way to the basket, but they also have good enough handle, and they're able to either dribble to the left or right off of a screen, find the opening and pull up. That's really their money. And so again, that's what I mean by, in my opinion, the catch-22 is that you're going to get caught somewhere in the middle. So if I was the Bucks,
ask the Lakers about that.
If I was the Bucks, I would definitely trap hard and try to force the situation. Maybe not trap too high, but I would force a trap maybe to the side or something like that so I can recover.
What did the Lakers do?
Find out tonight.
The Lakers guards aren't as good they're at least about the same as the Bucks guard. The Lakers were handling Chris Paul and Devin Booker. They were handling Devin Booker so much, Devin Booker got frustrated and was trying to fight. So, I hear you on that, but what did they do? And I can go back and relook at the game, but it obviously is a way to handle them because they were getting handled. Like I said, they were getting handled by the Lakers. Like we can't act like Chris Paul and Booker or Babe Ruth and they just out there calling their shots all the time. Up, doing this, doing it. They not Curry. They're not like that.
What they are is in the finals, and they have a game 1 victory. So
true.
Let's go to game. Let's shoot over to game 2. We kind of touching on it, but give me what your thoughts are for game 2 tonight.
I couldn't tell you because the first thing is going to be what adjustments, as we're talking about Budenholzer, what adjustments will he make? And I hope the first adjustment is, but it seems like you're trying to make it seem like it's impossible, is that we're not going to let Brook Lopez be one-on-one with Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Because if that's going to happen, then the only thing you're saying is they just have to have a bad shooting night. We can't do anything. And as I always hope for the Bucks, can you get something in the paint? And I'm going to do Mark Slater, former offensive lineman for the Washington Redskins, or the Washington football team now, and then the Denver Broncos. He loves to talk about football and getting your running back touches. And he says teams now they like to say that when we throw the little swing pass to the running back, that's getting him a touch, and that, that can affect the defense. And he is like, hell no. Handing the ball off to your running back and letting him run in between the tackles is getting him a touch and affecting the defense when you're playing hard-nosed football, not these little swing passes or whatever. So when Giannis gets the ball at like the top of the key or what have you, and he's in transition and he's doing all of this and he's getting to the bucket and everything, that's great. He's getting a foul on a guy. He's going to shoot some free throws. It looks nice and pretty. But what it's not is it's not you leaning on a guy, that guy having to dig in and try and stop you, and then you're banging on him, and he's going to get tired at some point. It's not you forcing another defender to come over, as you're kind of saying, so we can swing the basketball to an open guy, whatever. It's it's like a nice, pretty foul or what have you, and they need to get better at that. If you're going to attack the middle, really attack the middle. If it was a boxing, body blows. They're more with, I would say that Giannis and the way he attacks the rim is kind of like he's just throwing a jab, which is good, but a body blow will be much better. So I'm hoping you will see that. Now, what do I expect? I probably expect the Bucks to do something crazy or whatever, and then we'll get to game 3 and 4. They'll lose tonight, and now game 3 and 4, they'll look like a totally different team as they did in the Brooklyn series, and there you go. So it's just, they're a box of Cracker Jacks. I don't ever know what I'm going to get with the Bucks. They could win tonight by 20. They could lose by 20. They could win a close game, lose a close game. They are so inconsistently consistent as a team. It is so maddening. So that would be my expectation. Expect the unexpected from the Bucks.
All right. Well, I expect the Bucks to definitely readjust a little on defense. I think they're going to try to slow the game down and try to keep this where it turns into more of a slugfest. If they get out and run and they get caught up in too much up tempo, that's going to feed right into Phoenix, feed right into their crowd. And then continue and look, somebody on the Suns is probably going to be hot from 3 tonight. So I would try my best to get some of their frontline guys in foul trouble. They did lose Dario Saric to an ACL, so he will be out for the remainder of the playoffs. He was
ACL. That's what it was.
Yes, ACL. Yep.
That sucks.
And even though, yeah, it does, especially at this time. You make it to the final, and but hey, he did get the game 1 in, but that's going to be it's not like a headline, a headliner, but that is a 7-footer, 6'11", 7-foot guy. That's one less on the Suns roster. And if I was the Bucks, I would continue to try to take advantage there. But that's really all I could see them trying to do tonight. Let me get your take on Giannis, and we both can talk about it. But he played in game 1. He looked better than I thought he would look. He scored 24 points, had 17 boards. But of course, we know it wasn't the same 24 and 17. But what do you think on Giannis? How do you think he's going to hold up in this postseason, in this final?
Well, first and foremost, when the injury happened, I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world when they said hyper extension or whatever. I was like, okay, not trying to be funny, but football players play through stuff like that all the time. So he should be able to go out there and play, you would think, unless there was some structural damage or something of that nature. Giannis was fine. I kind of don't mind him playing the way that he played. I was hoping that they would put him on the block more because maybe he was slowed down, but he doesn't seem to be that slow. Maybe he was just trying to get his conditioning back. Probably 80-85%. He wasn't doing all the pogo stick jumping like he would normally do, maybe. Yeah. Other than that, he looked pretty quick, and I thought I thought freaking Aiden was a little bigger than that, but he gave Aiden a shiver one time and
Mhm.
got Aiden out of the way. So he looked strong enough too. Probably the thing with Aiden, I'm sorry, with Giannis that is going to be big to me is what type of contributions is he going to get from the rest of the team? And it
Mhm.
doesn't seem like he's getting any. Doesn't seem like he's getting those contributions from the rest of the team right now, or at least what you would expect that he would get from the team. So that will be key. And Drew Holiday, everybody like Giannis, he if he gives me 20 and 15 every game, I wouldn't be upset at that. I'd like for him to do a better job of getting them in foul trouble. But Drew Holiday, he's a guy making a whole bunch of money. If Giannis is attracting all of this attention from the Suns players, which he is, what is Drew Holiday doing? What is Chris played fine. I'd like to see some of these other guys hit some shots, which they shot pretty well from three. So can we get some from Drew Holiday? Because as of right now, where can the Bucks play better? Unless you're just going to tell me that Giannis needs to go out there and have like a 40-20 game. But overall, I'm not sure where the Bucks really get better at it. You got what you could have asked for from Giannis, right? Like even if he wasn't 100%, he gave you a good game. All I can see, you get better on your defense. So Giannis was fine. Like he wasn't the reason they lost. Where do you get the other stuff from? I didn't think they lost because a lack of Giannis not being whatever. Good to have him. They didn't expect to have him. He's okay. If he plays like that in the series, they were in a position that they could have won. So it's you can tell me, Mr. 411. I don't think that he is going to be the difference as of right now, or at least it doesn't look like it, unless he's, as I said, going to get you 40 and 20 every damn night.
Man, I don't know, man. If he's able to play, he's got to be out there. If not for anything else, is just the overall presence. I do think defensively, and as we all remember that play from game one where he had to chase down block.
Yes,
That's a great example of what the Bucks need more of, which is to eliminate buckets
chase
that
down
Phoenix.
blocks.
Well, basically, but eliminating buckets, that automatic buckets from the Suns, to make it a little bit harder for them to put more points on the board. Giannis, to me, he looked fine. Obviously, he's not 100%, but I'll take Giannis not at 100%, more than not having him at all. Even partial Giannis is better than the majority of the league. So, like I say, his length, his presence that was there. And again, just wrapping it all the way back around. There's one more point I want to make too, that I think the Bucks, they need to kind of take a look at the playbook of the Mavericks back in was 2011, 2010, where the Mavericks went zone. And I think that would also help them against Phoenix. Now, I can't really tell you exactly how often they play zone, but that would definitely
would
help slow
it?
things down. It would,
Because you just said Chris Paul and Booker, and they are mid-range assassins.
yeah.
I'm not sure that's gonna work.
Well, if you play a good zone, though, you have your guards already up top, and then you could shade your defense.
Do the Bucks do
Basically,
anything good, Mr. 411? Like, what are you seeing that they do good in this postseason outside of the Miami series?
well, they advanced. I mean, at the end of the day, they're in the finals.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's only two teams in the finals. There's only two in the finals, and they're one
you
of the
are
two.
correct. When I win the Powerball and I get to marry Beyonce or Jessica Biel or Shanti or whatever,
Yep.
I did it right by winning the Powerball. Like,
Yep.
sometimes, what is it? Broken clock is right twice a day or something.
Yep. In your
but I
opinion,
can't see anything they do good. And you said you will take a healthy Giannis or whatever, take Giannis on the court. Where you need to talk to Mr. Skip Bayless, because he totally thinks the Bucks are better in the playoffs without Giannis than with him.
he's definitely entitled to his opinion, and we'll leave it at that. I mean, I think they paid Giannis $200 million for a reason. So
he says that's regular season Giannis. Regular season Giannis and postseason Giannis are two different individuals in his mind.
That's his mind. You know, that's his thought. You know, and he can think that. But I think the NBA and I think the Bucks know better than that. They just gonna have to get it together, man. It was one loss, and you got to win 4 to win this series. And as we know, anything can happen in the series. I mean, the Bucks were blasted early in the series against the Nets. It looked like they were not going to return, and things happen. They advanced. Well, no, they advanced. I mean, it didn't look good.
Yes, right? They did.
It's one game.
We won't let the facts get in the way of a good story. But I'm not overreacting to game one. As you said, it's a series. My questions are just always how the Bucks go about their business. Like I don't care about a loss is a loss. You're not going to typically sweep anybody in a series, and we didn't expect Giannis to play. So if they'd have lost the first 2 games, we wouldn't say anything about it. It's just It's just how it looked. As I said, Brook Lopez on Chris Paul and Devin Booker doesn't look good. And it makes me think, well, what are you doing? And I shouldn't have to see that for a whole game, even though they did take Brook Lopez out, I think, a good majority of the fourth quarter when they went on their run. But like, how many times I got to see Chris Paul drop one on his head before, like, hey, get over the screen. But then I guess they're coming back telling the coach, we can't get over the screen. We'll be in the trail position. Like, Lord Jesus.
Yep. Man, we're going to see, man. It's gonna be
we will see. And we'll be able to talk about it after the game tonight. That will be wonderful.
That's right.
I know I'm stealing your thunder. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. We're in this storm together, man.
When you say storm, it brings something to mind.
Yeah. Hey, man, you know what time it is. You know what time it is, Zach. Your favorite part of the show.
Yes, that means we have earned our money for the day, hopefully.
We need you to like, subscribe, and comment. We are on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Like.
I want you to hate. Please give us all your hate, or give me all your hate. I don't need any. I ain't looking for the likes. We looking for the people that, or I'm looking for the people that are going to tell us what we ain't getting right so we can try and set you straight. Or you can set us straight. Or maybe me straight. Mr. 411 is usually on point. As long as it's not one of the emotional topics.
Whatever that meant. But
LeBron.
I was gonna pay you for the compliment, but I'll hold on to my $2 now. But no, we really need you all to tune in. We would like for you all to tune in. We'd like for you all to subscribe. Definitely.
Look, he said it right. We need y'all to tune in. Tune in. I ain't as they used to say, I ain't too proud to beg. Tune in.
Yep.
And you can go with that's the Temptations or TLC, right? Maybe that's a little bit before your time. I'm sorry.
Well, TLC definitely. TLC. Yeah. So, and we're no scrubs either. So, but yeah, definitely. But definitely, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we are on the gram, as they say. And the way to find us, and I'm gonna let Zach say this with a little swag.
I'm not saying it was swag. That's his thing. The Sports Brothers. You can email us at thesportsbrothers.com or come check us out on Twitter, and we will respond back just like Katie when he's firing off at people. And
there you go.
We'll let Mr. 411 say it with swag. I'm too old for all of that.
The Sports Brothers.
Oh yeah, that sounded so swaggish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we'll let Corey be the give the judge on that one there. See who had the most swag in that segment right there. But yes, we thank you all for listening. He's Zach. I'm Mr. 411. We are the Sports Brothers. And we'll see you later on tonight after game 2 of the NBA Finals.
Hopefully, all of us might not be there, but we're going to do our best.